I read somewhere that you'd worked with Prince.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
How was that?
It was amazing. I mean, yeah, I was playing in Minneapolis years ago with another hero of mine, Maceo Parker, funk saxophonist, J.B. Horns, just amazing, amazing musician.
Was he in your band, or were you on the same
No, he
bill?
was opening my shows, bizarrely. Yeah, you know, I mean, at the time I had a big audience, and I thought, so, you know, what if I just called up one of my heroes? Like, does Maceo have a phone number? And lo and behold, he did. And he came out on tour with me, and I was in school every night, you know, sharing the stage with him and making music with him. It was such a beautiful experience. So we're in Minneapolis. We're playing outside in a ballpark. It's summertime. And this white limo pulls up backstage, and there's a flutter. And I go over to I'm like shoved over to the limo, and
the window goes down.
And it's White Shag on the floor of the limo, and his purpleness just reclined on the floor, seriously, with eyelashes out to here, just looking up at me. I was just like, oh man, you are more vivid the closer you get. Yeah, just a beautiful, delicate creature.
Yeah. And so, did he say, come back to my place and jam, or what?
Yes, that's exactly what he said. He said, I mean, I had the day off the next day, supposed to be rolling out of Minneapolis, and he said, you want to come to Paisley Park and play on my next record? And I said, or something. And so I just stayed behind and went to Paisley Park, and so then I'm sitting, so I show up at Paisley Park with one of my cheap little guitars. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. And they said, okay, wait here. He's busy. He's recording right now. So I'm sitting in the waiting room, sweating. And then finally they say, okay, come on in. And he had just recorded a solo piano ballad. Yeah. It's just him singing and playing the piano in this heartbreaking way. And he says, okay, will you play guitar on this? It's in G. And I'm like, you know, anybody who knows me know I don't know G from Q I'm just a self-taught hick on the guitar, you know, and I was like, okay, I was looking for the escape door to just run. I didn't know whether to pee my pants or cry or scream. So instead I go behind the glass, and I have about 3.2 seconds to figure out what G is after what I had just heard from a little playback. And there's Prince sitting behind the board, and it's just me looking through the glass at him like, oh no, this is my biggest dream and my biggest nightmare. All in one. Yeah. All in one moment. And I played one note at a time, and I just tried not to mess up. And I played on this, and, you know, and it was all over in about 5 minutes. I played through the tune, and he was like, we're rolling back to the bridge. Done. Whoa. I was like, what happened? Oh, my Lord. I can't believe that. And then we jammed all night. And so I brought Mace with me. He had Larry Graham, the amazing bass player, Sly Stone, everybody, you know, Larry Graham, one of the foundations of funk.
Did you feel kind of imposter syndrome while sitting in that company?
Which one of these things is not like the other? I mean, I was like, how does a little white girl from Buffalo end up here with all these amazing, amazing... And Prince, you know, that night on the soundstage at Paisley Park when we were jamming, he was sort of... You know, he was rehearsing for his musicology tour at the time, and he would get people together and jam on his new stuff and have ideas come forward and then maybe carry them into the tour. So that's what we were doing. We were jamming on his new songs. And he was hopping from one instrument to the other. He'd be playing guitar, then he'd go behind the keyboards, then he'd go behind a drum kit, and not just keep up, you know. He would speak through each instrument in a very, very vivid way. It's really amazing. Wow. Amazing musician. And I had some amazing times in his presence. I feel really blessed and very sad.
Yeah, I think we all feel very sad.